Good news. Solving the radical equations is a lot easier than actually adding and subtracting and multiplying the radical stuff. Let's evaluate some expressions here. It says x is 16, so we're going to substitute that in. And then we take the square root of 16. We're taking the principal square root, the positive one. Square root of 16 is 4, minus 3 is 1. All right. Then we're going to sub in 9 for this one. So the square root of x, which is 9 plus 7. 9 plus 7 is 16. The square root of 16 is 4. And the last one, we're substituting in 1 for x. 1 plus 3 is 4. So we have 2 root 4. I'm going to move this over. We know the square root of 4 is 2, but we also need to multiply it by that regular 2 that was out there. 2 times 2 is 4. All right, let's try some equations. Now, the radical equations, you look at your steps over here. The first step is to isolate the square root. You have to get it to where you just have a square root on both sides, and then we'll talk after that. So on A, I have to get rid of this minus 3 first. So we'll add 3 to both sides. Then we have the square root of x equals 7. Great, we have the square root all by itself, so we go to the next step, which is to square both sides, because squaring and square rooting, those are inverse operations. They cancel each other out. So we're going to square this side, and we're going to square the right side. The square root of x squared just becomes x, and then 7 squared, 7 times 7 is 49. So that's our answer. Now if you check that in the original equation, square root of 49 minus 3 equals 4. Square root of 49 is 7, minus 3 equals 4. So that one works. Now if you look at B, we've already isolated the square root. It's already the only thing on that side of the equal sign. So we can go ahead and square both sides. All it does is drop the square root, so it becomes x minus 3 equals, and then 4 squared is 16. We just saw what's left, x minus 3, so we add 3. You get x equals 19. Now if you check that in the original equation, 19 minus 3 is 16, and the square root of 16 is 4. So that one works out, okay? We always take the principal square root, the positive square root, when we're solving these equations. All right, let's see if we can get these done in the same time too. Isolate the square root, so we'll subtract the 7. Square root of x equals 12 minus 7 is 5. Then we're going to square both sides to cancel out that square root, which gives us x equals 25. Cool, that wasn't too bad. We have to isolate the square root, so we need to get rid of the minus 4 first. Square root of a equals 9, and then we square both sides. A equals 81. The last one, the square root's already by itself, so we can square both sides. The square root just drops. 6 squared is 36. Then we get rid of minus 2 by adding 2 to both sides. C equals 38. Cool. That wasn't too bad. Not too bad at all. Let's see if I can stop the